BlackRock and all of these folks, all the folks that we thought were never going to do this, are now doing it, and yet it's not moving at all.
Well, it's moving today.
Well, I mean, sure.
10 asset managers, including BlackRock and Fidelity, have filed for a Bitcoin spot ETF. With the addition of 1.5 trillion Franklin Templeton, this brings the total AUM to $17 trillion. So what though? How does this help the price of Bitcoin? And will these Bitcoin ETFs even get approved? Because Gary Gensler is not a fan.
And help protect Americans from the crypto abuses that cost consumers billions.
If they were to live up to the investor protection built into their current laws, it would help investors. But right now, unfortunately, there's significant non-compliance, and it's a field which is rife with fraud, abuse, and misconduct.
But can Gary Gensler really say no to Larry Fink and BlackRock? They run the show. Wall Street wants it. Courts ruled in favor of Grayscale against the SEC, and CNBC has pro-Bitcoin panelists openly advocating for Bitcoin. And Bloomberg analysts believe there is a 75% chance that a Bitcoin ETF gets approved this year. We only have a few months left, but they give a 95% chance that one gets approved by the end of 2024. That is the deadline for these ETFs, 2024. So even when we do get an approved Bitcoin ETF, how does this actually help the price of Bitcoin? Everyone seems to be talking about it. Let's take a look at gold. After the approval of a gold spot ETF, the price of gold absolutely exploded. And the reason is, for each of these ETFs, these asset managers had to have actual gold backing it. So when it comes to a Bitcoin spot ETF, these asset managers have to hold actual Bitcoin to issue these ETFs. The more Bitcoin they hold, the more ETFs they can sell. Remember, these ETFs are actually backed by Bitcoin. This is what makes them a much bigger deal than the Bitcoin future ETFs we have seen in the past, where no actual Bitcoin is held. That's trillions of dollars that could come into play. Now add in the Bitcoin halving is about 225 days away, which will cut the supply of Bitcoin again, making it even more scarce. And I get a feeling some of you watching will become this meme. Dad, why don't we have any Bitcoin? I sold it all to BlackRock at $25,000. And then the kid goes, put me up for adoption, please. You don't want to become this meme. And typically when we see big players buying Bitcoin, they do it over the counter. It's not seen by the market. It doesn't really affect the price. But there's only so much Bitcoin that could be bought OTC. Sure, if one company was buying, fine. But if all of these companies are buying, there's no chance, unless only one Bitcoin spot ETF gets approved. But Cathie Wood believes that multiple Bitcoin ETFs will be approved at once. Interesting fact, by the way, Cathie Wood and ARK Invest have filed for the first ever Ethereum spot ETF. Will it get approved? Let's first focus on the Bitcoin spot ETF. We can worry about Ethereum later. But there's a dark side to this whole entire Bitcoin ETF thing. With all of these asset managers coming in, Bitcoin will eventually be controlled by Wall Street. Isn't this the total opposite of why Bitcoin was created? But it's a tricky situation because we all want the price to go up. And this is how it happens. That is the reality. This is how big money gets into Bitcoin. And this is even how most retail will first get involved with crypto. And you're here most likely to make money, let's be real. But just because these institutions are coming in, it doesn't mean that they're going to get your crypto. In addition, banks are not going away. The question is often asked, will crypto kill banks? The answer is no. Banks that do not integrate crypto, they'll fade away. But the banks that embrace crypto will continue to stay, and they'll probably get even stronger than they are today. I believe in crypto self-custody, but I get a feeling that majority of the world does not believe in it or does not even care. Grandma and grandpa don't. There will be banks that will custody crypto for their clients, and banks will also settle transactions on the blockchain. Settling with crypto is 100 times better than the old system. I already knew this, retail knows this, but the big banks are realizing it finally. And this is why we are seeing Visa settling with USDC on Ethereum and Solana. We know Bitcoin will be around for a long time, but what about Ethereum and Solana? Is the infrastructure reliable for companies like Visa to settle on? Watch this video to learn more.